You know, recently I've found myself in a little bit of a creative drought, and to be honest, that's had a little bit of a bad effect on my mental health.
Ever since I was a little kid, making videos is all I've ever known. Whether it was a 30-second short film of my sisters drawing in their rooms, to me making trick shot videos in my basement, and even all the way to me making highlight reels for my high school football team. Filmmaking is all I've ever known. And then, my senior year of high school hit. By this time, I was so worn out and drained from the constant routine of going to school and then going to work for 7 hours, going to bed late, sleeping in way longer than I should be. I stopped going to the gym, I stopped eating breakfast and lunch, and sometimes dinner. Needless to say, I was in a bad spot mentally and emotionally, and something needed to change. The truth is, I felt trapped. I didn't want to graduate high school and then get sucked into the system that inevitably leads you through college just to work a 9-to-5 job and maybe, just maybe, be able to save up enough money to retire at 65 and have the last 20 or so years left of my life to do what I wanted to do. That sounded awful to me. To be honest, I don't even really have a plan. I'm sort of just winging it, living every moment as it happens and taking it all in. Something that I haven't really done in a while. Okay, people are driving by. This is super awkward. You see, this kind of reminds me about the story of the astronomer and the astronaut. You see, the astronomer sits back in his lawn chair on his front porch and watches the stars, or he looks at the stars, versus the astronaut who actually ventures out and explores those stars. So the question I'm always asking myself is, do I want to be an observer or an explorer? You know, do I want to watch other people create the life that I want to live, or do I want to actually go out and pursue that life that I want to live and make that dream sort of a reality for myself? You see, I desire a life of fulfillment, where nothing is off the table, no idea is too big, no destination is too far. I don't want to be trapped working a 9-to-5 job and only getting 2 weeks of PTO a year. But unfortunately, to a lot of people's standards, that's unrealistic. Sometimes I wish I could go back to being a little kid. I was always the weird kid with the GoPro strapped to my chest. I was always the weird kid running around with the camera back in the woods. I was always the weird kid with the big bulky drone that the whole neighborhood could hear. What happened to that? Back then I didn't have to worry about when or where my next video idea would pop into my head, because ideas were popping into my head before I even had time to start my first idea. The thing about being a little kid is that you always see the positive side of life. Everything is fun, everything is an adventure. You never have to worry about where your next paycheck is going to come from, and most importantly, no matter what happens next, for the most part, life is good. So, now, after being all grown up and obviously a lot more mentally mature, what have I learned? Honestly, not much. To be honest, it kind of feels like I went backwards in some aspects. You see, I went from being this kid that had all the ideas in the world to this adult who struggles to even get one video done. My point is, recently I've been feeling a little bit like a failure. I'm struggling to come up with the next big idea. I'm struggling to sit down for 5 hours and edit a video. I'm failing to do the one thing that I love and the one thing that gave me some sense of hope, and I can't even do that. I am a failure.
Creativity is hard. It comes and goes in an instant, and to be honest, you never really know when and where it's going to come from. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that sometimes creativity is just picking up your camera and seeing what happens next.
I'm slowly drifting to you. So stars and planets are calling me. A billion years away from
Dude, that one's sick. I wanna see that.